Hello. We are broadcasting here, not live, but we are recording live about our hike.
On Mount Washington.
So, was this your first hike on Mount Washington?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was so good.
So good. Yeah, chill, right? The whole time.
Totally.
I've hiked Mount Washington one other time other than this, which is what sparked the want to do this again. And we did a different trail. My first time I did this with Kevin, my partner, and we went the Jewel Boot Spurway from Pinkham Notch. And Corbin, myself, and Kevin went the Tuckerman Ravine Trail, which is actually a lot more
Scenic.
Yeah, scenic. So tell them about your shoes that you got and where you got them, what you think of them.
I got these.
Louder.
I got these Merrell, right?
Merrell.
Hiking boots at REI for $180. I got the Merrell hiking boots for like $180 at REI.
They were not on discount. A lot of the shoes were on discount, but the issue was they're either too narrow or they may have been on discount, but they were still over $200. We spoke to somebody about which ones would be the best, and she's like, really, if this is your first hike and you're going to be kind of an all-around hiker, Merrell is the way to go. These specific ones, I'm not sure of their exact style name, but they are, is it saying here? Nope. I don't know. But anyways, how did they feel on the ground?
They feel pretty good. They were like, they had good cushioning, and it had a lot of good support for your foot too.
They feel like way different than sneakers.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could have done this hike with just regular sneakers?
Probably not, just because like these provide more support for like my ankles, because I have more floppy ankles.
Floppy. They did say that he has more flat feet, which is another reason why we went with the Merrells. There were some La Sportiva ones that looked really nice, and they were on discount, and they're known for being a really good hiking shoe. But she said that they were narrow and wouldn't provide as much support as what Corbin would need for his foot type. What about grippiness on those wet rocks?
Yeah, I would say it had like a lot of grip to like the rocks. I didn't really slip that much at all. Most of the times, like when I slipped, it was more of like, it was also kind of like an error for me because I like didn't do good footing at all. Like some of the rocks were like really wobbly.
So on the way up, it was actually pretty decent weather. Like we needed sunglasses even kind of in the shaded areas. But overall it was nice and pretty easy. Like the whole time, I don't think once you thought I couldn't do this. Did you ever think, wow, I don't think I can make it to the top?
No, I don't think so. It was like a little strainful, I guess, but not as much on the way down. The way down was like a lot harder. It was like,
Can you tell them why?
because it's like
It started to rain.
started
And we
to
were
rain.
inside a cloud
Yeah.
too. So he missed out on like one of the best views. But I'm so glad that we took Tuckerman's Ravine because he did get the view of the ravine. And we looked back and you could see Wildcat Mountain. And it was a gorgeous view from like at the mountains around us. I was dizzy. I almost threw up. I couldn't look back. This specific trip, I did way better my first time. But so he did get that view, but he has yet to get the view from Mount Washington from the top because we were inside a cloud. And according to the weather, they said that it was the clouds were coming in from Hurricane Erin. So on the way back down, when we're just in the rock scramble area right at the top of the trail, it's about only a half a mile, I believe, of rock scrambling. It's really not that bad. It took us like an hour and 40 minutes, but especially because it was raining. We were inside of the cloud and it was just kind of like misty and weird. At first it wasn't even misty and weird. It was just kind of like we just were in the cloud. It was harder to see anything.
But it was still cool.
And we could insert a video of like some of the views we had in the cloud here too.
Yeah.
So.
But like, yeah, more on like the way down, it was like, it also just like, it was a lot more stressful because we also took pretty long. So like it got really dark by the time we were at the bottom, and it was just like super stressful. And it was like, we could barely see. And the flashlight, like our phone flashlights, were not good enough to like be able to see like 10, 15 feet ahead of us. We could only really see like the floor. So we only knew where we were stepping.
Also, the weather changes from the different altitudes. So, of course, it was rainy when we were in the most dangerous place for it to be rainy. And I felt like such a bad mom. I'm like, oh my God, CPS is gonna come. I am such a bad mom. We're gonna literally die here. Honestly, though, it's just steps. It's literally walking down a very complicated staircase. There's actually it really explains it good. One of the trails named is called like Garden Path. And it kind of feels like that. It kind of feels like that friend you have that's done excellent landscaping, gardening, and they just want to, hey, come along and show you their garden, except it just kind of never ends and you never get there. Raz!
Right here.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was out there. So you just go, you never get there. So it just took forever and it was raining. So it was a lot of careful steps, and then everything we did was soaked, and then eventually Corbin, we had to get the poncho that we purchased from REI as well.
Because it got like really rainy and stuff. It was crazy. It also got really cold too.
What did you think about the water situation, like having the water source? Do you think that it's necessary to wear your water on your back and have bottles of water too?
Yeah, I would say so, because like when we weren't at the top yet, but like we were very close to it, I actually ran out of water. So it was really helpful to fill it up for the way back, because I think closer to the end I drank a lot of water. I probably drank the most water, like more at the ravine area, because it was like really hot and there's like no trees, because that's closer to the alpine line, but it's not the alpine line, so there's not a lot covering the top. So it was like a lot of sun beat down on you, and like you got really thirsty really quickly. So I say it was definitely helpful to have your like camel pack, water source, whatever, to like stay hydrated and stuff. And then also when we got like further up, I was like, I'm out of water, I need more. So it was helpful that we had some in one of the other backpacks to fill up my water so we could continue drinking. And what was really cool is that there's a station to fill up your water when you got to the top, which was definitely really helpful. But I definitely didn't drink as much water on the way down, because it was like a lot easier, but in like a sense where it's like it was quicker, no sun.
Easier on your body. It was
Yeah.
tougher on your mind. I would say the climb up, it's like challenging on the mind. Less challenging on the mind, more on the body. You're
Yeah.
literally steadfast and can do this. There's never a point where I felt like, oh my God, I can't do this. Corbin can't do this. What are we doing? Every step of the way to the top is 4 miles. I'm like, we do that. We do like 15 miles, and I may not be up a mountain, but we could do this. The way down though, your body feels, there's no heart rate increase, hardly. There's not once did my heart go above probably 120, if you made it to 120. I never was out of breath. If I stopped, it was always to collect myself mentally on the way down. On the way up, if I stopped, it was to regain that steady heart rate, to take a breath and gather, like, get my legs ready for more. Oh, we did stop because of our body. Yeah, on the way down.
Oh yeah, like
our legs.
Very, very close to the end. It was like 1 or 2 miles left. It felt like forever. Like it felt like 50 miles away, but it really wasn't. It was like our legs started like shutting down, and it's also probably because we're not really like experienced that much in like hiking. We don't really do it a lot. Well, especially I don't. I've done like a couple hikes, which are more like less extreme, as in like Middle Mountain, right?
Yeah, so Middle Mountain is like 1.8 miles up But it's a lot steeper than I was trying to explain it to Corbin, than the Jewel Trail, than the Boot Spur Trail. But Tuckerman Ravine only has a very short portion that is not climbing up. It's climbing up, and then it's flat. Like when you get to the Hermitage area, like there's the place where there's a pump station to get water. There's first aid huts. There's a little place to sit and have a picnic even. There's a little lake there. Okay, that's not on the Jewel Trail. It's not on the Boot Spur. So that's a good thing about Tuckerman, is I feel like they're more prepared for issues, but also I think it's because they're probably more likely to have issues. But then it goes up again. Middle Mountain is about 44% grade the entire way, if not more sometimes. So it's only about 1.8, but it's a great way and a good name for it to prepare for hiking Mount Washington, because it's basically to the middle of, because it's halfway there. It's a 4.4 mile hike. You're doing a 1.8 nonstop, just going up. There's never a place where it's really flatter for more than, what would you say, 3 meters?
Yeah.
And then it just starts to go up again. I wouldn't call it a difficult hike at all. But it is...
It's very, like...
I don't know how to explain it.
Hard on the body.
I would say that kids could do it. That's how easy it is. Like, it's not dangerous at all. It's a nice wide footpath.
Yeah.
There's pretty easy footing. If it's complicated, you could just probably hold someone's hand. And it's really so easy that someone could probably even just, like, put you on their back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that about Tuckerman's Ravine. If you feel like you're going to have to carry your kid on your back and you can't do it up these steeps and dangerous, like the ravine, there's places where you could fall off into the ravine.
Yeah.
We didn't even know, I didn't notice it as much until it was raining. And like we were watching the water pour off over the slope of the path, like, and the path was very narrow. It was like 1 person width, and it was not muddy, but like it was mud.
Slippery.
It was, I want to say sandy, because it wasn't wet enough that it was muddy yet, but the water was flowing through, and there was like dry sand that was smooth and soft that you could find grip, slide off into the ravine. Very scary. How'd that water feel?
Oh, yeah. Like, on the way going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, closer to, like, the middle and end of the ravine, there was, like, these small water sources that are very accessible. And for me, that just, like, helped me. What I would do is I would just get, like, a handful, like, splash it on my face. I felt, like, perfectly fine for, like, the rest of the...
Like, rejuvenating?
Yeah. Like, I felt, like, really good and, like...
You think that the mountain water was different than just, like, brook water? Very different?
Yeah, very different. It was, like... Because it was also really clear and, like, clean. Like... But then there was the pump water, too, that was more at, like, the beginning area.
2 miles in. You have to hike 2 miles to get to it, but honestly, the hike to it isn't that hard. You have to go over some pretty good sized stones the entire way, which me and Corbin, we've been doing hiking. We're a little bit more experienced. We're used to having to scramble over some larger rocks. So in my mind's eye, it was so simple, but on the way back, I was falling apart, and I was like, I don't remember it being this difficult. I don't remember there being so many stones to scramble over on, like, this close to the ground. I remember it being like fine sand and like gravel, like you see in a lot of the White Mountain Forest, just pathways to the covered bridge, or when you're on your way to the lower falls. I don't know where my mind was, but I really thought it was going to be so much easier on the way back, and it was not. And water was the opposite of refreshing at that time.
Yeah.
We were all soaked through. But then after, like, it was just before or after the Hermitage, where we literally could take off our coats. We could take off all of our wet layers, and it wasn't raining at all.
But it was, like, humid, though.
It was still very humid, and it also, I mean, we didn't get to the car until 9:30 on the button. So we left at 5. It took us 4.5 hours to get to the bottom, and it took us, let's see, 8, 3, 9, 10. It took us like 5.5 hours to get out. It actually took us longer to get out. It was taking a long time to get over the initial half mile. So from the top of Mount Washington down for like half a mile, scrambling downward because it was so wet, and we were being so careful. But we were more confident.
Yeah, it was like more of like, because we remembered the path, we know where what was, and it's just like on the way up, it's like unknown. Like none of us have been there. Did Kevin go up that way?
He said he's never been, but he could have been just being polite, like with you type of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you've already seen a movie 10 times, but your girlfriend wants to watch it, she's like, oh, la, la, and you're like, oh, I've never seen it. With you, you know, like you just leave that part out. So it's like special and like new again for him. But okay, so the cool part I thought though, even though it did take longer, is the stacks. There's like stacks to show you the way of the trail.
And you have to like look through the fog.
You had to
like,
look,
find it.
but it made it more precise of where we were going, because sometimes when you're going up the mountain and it was much clearer on the way up, you could see all the stacks. You sort of like, you're more looking for the easiest pathway upwards, and you lose the trail some because you start to go a little bit further left just because this step up left is easier, and then you have to like scramble pretty far right in order to actually get back onto the trail. But when you're forced to only see the stacks that you're headed to, I feel like we were staying more direct on the trail and seeing the best steps that would lead the best right to the stacks. So we're kind of like getting down to business and more focused on the way back down for that reason.
Yeah, and like also it kind of felt like a video game mission, like looking for all the stacks. Like you have to like look through the fog to like try to find where the next one is, and then you have to like, you see the other one, like you see the next one, and then you have to find like a good path that's safe enough to go down and then get to the other stack.
So how'd you feel when you made it to the top, even though you didn't get the view?
It felt good. It also was just like, I was like, finally I'm at the top, I can take a rest. We actually rested for like 2 hours at the top and we didn't even notice. It like felt like 5-10 minutes.
It did. How was the pizza? Okay. People
it
brag.
tasted a lot better because I was starving, because it's like all that work is just like, I'm hungry, I need something to eat.
Yeah.
And then when we got back from the whole hike, we went to Applebee's and I like knocked down like a whole big old burger.
I swear to God, I think it's beyond the hike. I think he's going through a growth. I mean, he's like 13, but he ate so much. Like, we brought all the food just in case, like emergency. He went through all of our emergency stores like halfway up the mountain. And then when we finally made it to the top, he had 2 slices of pizza,
And then
a bag of candy.
yeah. Then we made it to the bottom when we went to Applebee's. I also had like a bunch of mozzarella sticks. I had 1 chicken wing. I didn't like the taste
It
that
was
much.
spicy, huh?
Eh,
We got the Asian chili, if you are familiar with Applebee's, which we haven't been going to Applebee's because the North Conway Applebee's has been terrible service. Terrible. I mean, we've written them emails, and I think that they were just sick of hearing from us. Like, they're like, if you don't like it, just don't go. Because they literally just stopped responding. So it had been like, oh gosh, more than 6 months since we've been, and we used to go like once or twice a week because it's so cheap, and then
the
we don't
food
have
is
to
usually
cook.
really good.
Like, we just go to happy hour, we get half price wings and have glasses of water and go. Like, we end up spending like $7 for the meal. It's really not a big deal, but they kept really messing up all of our orders, everything we would get. Being completely rude. Like, we ordered it to go, I had to go pick it up, and the lady came to me and she's like, a hostess or something trying to sit me, and I said, oh, I'm here for a pickup order, and she's like, she pointed to the food, which is like on the opposite end of the restaurant on the corner of the bar, and she says, your food's over there. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, and like, did you want me to go and get it? And then so she rolls her eyes at me, goes to get the food, brings it to me, and she goes, there's an exit door right by where your food was. You could have just got out that door. It's not that big of an ask. I was like, who the hell am I? Like, what did I do to you to mess up your day? Wow. So I think that was like the last straw. We were like, wow, I don't think we're going to go to Applebee's anymore. And really the only reason we went is because Pinkham Notch is like an hour from Applebee's or where we stay.
Yeah.
So
it was like the only place that was
open. So that's why we went there. But they did a great job. I have to admit that the waiter was so nice. And the food came out quickly. It felt like the burger was taking forever, but I looked at the watch and I think it took 7 minutes, and I really think...
Oh, yeah, no, the waiter was, like, really nice.
And he kept
was, like,
updating us about the
yeah.
food, too. Like, he came over and he's like, oh, your food's on its way up. Like, he didn't just, like, ignore us, and he asked us if we wanted, like, more drinks or anything else.
Yeah. Like, there was also somebody that was, like, I assumed they thought that he was, like, so nice. They tipped him, like, $20, and their meal was, like, $15. They got, like, 2 wings and, like, some fries. Like, 2 things of wings and some fries. And then they tipped him, like, 20.
He definitely deserved it. I think we just gave him, like, the regular percentage, because I think also Kevin's still mad about last time, and he's like, you know, he was nice tonight, but we don't know who overall, you know. I'm not going to give all my money to this one guy when whatever, so... But I understood that.
Oh, yeah, wait. The coolest thing I got from, like, the top of the mountain, I got this, like, stuffed animal. I named him Bucket, and it's kind of, like, my trophy for, like, getting
So
to the
we're
top.
sitting at the bar height table in front of the gift shop, and there's a bear there, and Corbin, like, reaches out, and he touches it, and he goes, Mom, feel that bear. And it was, I swear, it was, like,
It was
so
so
soft.
soft.
It really
Like,
was.
It felt like I have a cat named Temtem, and like sometimes I miss him a lot. This bear feels just like him. Like it's that soft. Like
It's pretty
really,
good
really
size,
soft.
too.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't you end up finding the bigger one, or did you see the big one first?
I saw the big one first, and then I was like, "There's a smaller one,"
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, "Should I get the small one that's $10 or the one that's $20?" Oh yeah. By the way, I paid for it. So
He
that's
got it
why I
with
was
his
kinda
Apple
like-
Pay, so they do accept Apple Pay at the top of Mount
but not
Washington.
American Express.
They don't accept American Express. I don't know what they did or what went on, but yeah. Anyways, so I had Columbia hiking boots that I got off of Amazon, which are not the best at all. I do need new hiking shoes. They were good for a year, and now, like, they're definitely not as grippy on the bottom.
Oh yeah, like you were losing your grip when it wasn't even like wet. It was kind of like she was like slipping.
They're definitely beginner, like, am I a hiker or not hiking shoes. I would so suggest them if you're just gonna go on, like your first hike, like Middle Mountain, or if you want to investigate, like, things about, like, that, or smaller. Or if they're less of a grade and more like dirt, gravel, like, trail, definitive, like, just a trail, not like you have to scramble on rocks and actually use your hands and, like, climb type of a trail. Those are not for that. So I would definitely suggest not going that route. They're probably the cheaper end ones. I think they're like $75 for the ones that I have. I don't have them with me to show you. But I just wear my REI hiking leggings that have some pockets on the side for my phone. Those soak through. I was so worried about my phone the whole time because I was like, it's gonna get soaked, but my iPhone ended up being fine. Comfortable, I think, the whole way. I would just want broader, wider, flatter, more grippy shoes next time. So I'm gonna look into something different. I haven't made any commitments or shopped really all that well. Raz did not go with us this time. Raz
Good thing he
stayed
did.
home.
I would be terrified for Raz going down. It was like I could barely do it. Like, and like the last time, didn't you say that like Kevin had to help him up some rocks?
Yeah, so the first time, even on just the Bootspur Jewel Trail, especially the beginning, there is some places where you really have to climb. I'm still gonna say it's easier than Tuckerman Ravine though, where we had to push Raz up into the trail.
I'm very, very like happy that we didn't bring Raz, because like that would also be like really, really stressful. Because, like, the chances of him falling off the ravine would be, like, pretty high.
Getting
'Cause it's,
distracted, pulling on the leash, going the wrong way, basically killing yourself or your dog. I bet we could have done it, but definitely not on a day like that. It was rainy, but we do have to go. We're going to be
if you
headed.
make sure it was, like, really, really clear, like, the whole way up and down, maybe. It'd probably be a lot safer. But, like, that time, I'm so glad we didn't bring him.
Raz! So we're going to be going, though. We have to go up to the city and hopefully have enough time to eat first. I don't know if we have enough time to eat. It's almost 4. I have to drop Raz off at home because he's not coming with us either, because it's a long way and a long wait in the car if he did. You guys, thank you so much for listening to us and our updates. We will be back again sometime soon just to tell you how Corbin's going back to school.
Yeah,
So
September 2nd.
we might tell you about the Freiburg Fair, but I'm not sure. He's also gonna have we hope he is having a friend with him.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, but we might update you on the fair. That'll be in October. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.
Bye.